Hello, how you doing? I'm here to teach you guitar. I was inspired to do this video by my good friend Larry. He's a all-around good guy, you know what I'm saying? Hard-working guy, honest. And, you know, he wants to learn guitar, so I'm going to take the time to teach him. From what I know, I've been playing for, I don't know, maybe 10 years, I don't know. But I'll teach you what I know. I'm not like Eddie Van Halen or anybody, but I can teach you how to get yourself started and how to practice. The very first thing you're going to want to do when you practice guitar is you got to warm your fingers up, and one other way to warm them up is you take your fingers like this. I learned this from typing, okay? This warms your fingers up. Roll your fingers down like this, like you're going to do like a kung fu punch, and hold them like that for like maybe, I don't know, 1, 2, 10 seconds, you know what I mean? And then release it like this, and then do it again, all right? Good 10 seconds, you know what I mean? You're putting blood into your fingers and you're warming yourself up, you know what I mean? Okay, then do it again. I know this might seem boring at first, but you know what? You gotta have a warm-up for everything you do. All the major sports stars like Michael Jordan, Derek Jeter, all them guys, they all had to do stretching exercises, so remember that. Okay, so then after you do that, you can go like this, put your fingers between like that, you're stretching them out. You know what I mean? Hold it like for like 10 seconds on each finger. You know what I mean? These two middle fingers are a little bit harder, but you got to get them stretched out. Okay? Good 10 seconds. And like so, like so. Okay? And then same for these fingers. Now, I say do both because I don't know if you're left-handed or right-handed, so it's good to do both. Besides, you use both hands when you play guitar. Okay? And then this guy. Now there are also these exercises right here where you grab your thumb like this, put your hand on your face like this, and pull your thumb down, and kind of you're stretching this muscle right here. Okay, it sounds crazy, but you actually kind of need to push down like this and kind of go like this with your fingers so that you're stretching out that fleshy part of your thumb right there that stretches out your fingers. All right, and then you do it with this side right here too. Believe me, someday when you play bar chords, this is a good exercise to do when you do bar chords, okay? I'm going to teach you all of that. Okay, so after you do that, one other thing is you kind of want to take your fingers and kind of, I was taught like this. You go, you know, like when you're going like that, and you kind of go like this. You stretch stretching the top right here, by going like that. See, these are my pinkies, so you're not stretching that, right? And then you want to stretch the other way where you are stretching your pinkies, see? You need to stretch those out. This is really important. I was told by my typing teacher like 30 years ago that when you do these exercises, and then you shake them out. When you do these exercises, shake them out real good too. What it does is it prevents you from getting carpal tunnel. Okay? All right, so now. All right, one of the first things you're going to want to do is you want to learn how to tune, okay? This is a very good tuner right here. It's called IntelliTouch. It's a very good, what you do is you clamp it on the end like so, right? Sorry. And you want your guitar to be in tune, okay? So what you do is you turn it on, first of all, okay? And you want it to kind of say A440, okay? Or whatever, it's got to say 440, because if it doesn't say 440, it's going to mess you all up, okay? You got to have it say 440, okay? It's 440 hertz. All right, if it's on 441, your tuning's not going to come out right. It's going to come out a little off. This is called standard tuning, okay? The whole trick is you want to tune your guitar so that you start to say, we say the bottom one is this bottom one right here, the very bottom right here, the thin one. You can start at the top or the bottom. I would say you could start at the, I start at the bottom. It doesn't really matter. Do whatever you want. But this one does it automatically by note. So, okay, so you see that. What's that reading anyway? Okay, so what that's reading is I got to tighten up the string. We'll tighten up it like, go like this. You turn it one way, it'll make it tighter, but if you turn it the other way, it makes it looser. So you want to tighten it up like kind of to where it goes in the middle and it lights up green. And always, I was taught by a guy who says always hit it first, then let it ring a little bit. See? Don't go like this. You don't want to do that. You want to let it ring. Okay, and then go to the next one. It's got to go tighter, see? So your guitar goes tighter or it goes looser. There's two ways it goes. You got to kind of play around with it to figure it out. Oh, by the way, that next one was B. It's the second one from the bottom. The third one is G. Had to try to remember that. So there it is. See that? Let it ring. Then go to the next one, which is D. Now there is something I want to show you. Occasionally you go too far. Like this, I went too far. So you got to turn it back. Now when you turn it back, make sure that you hit it and then tighten it. You want it to tighten. You don't want to loosen it up to get it to go to tune. You want to tighten it to go to the tune. I don't know why. It's common physics, I guess. See, it's nice and tight now. And then you go to the next one, which is A. All right, and then you go to this one, which is another E. Now this is really important. I was told there's a lot of tension on this. This is a wood and it's string and it's constantly pulling. So when you tighten up one string, it might mess up the tune of another string. So it's important that after you tune it once, tune it again. Look at that, see what I mean? That's the theory. So I gotta tighten up just a little. Then go to the next one. That's B. Then the next one. Next one. Next one. Perfect. See, chromatic tuner like this does it by vibration. It doesn't really, it might do it by sound, but it does it by vibration. So in other words, you can be in a really loud room and you can tune your guitar. So when it's tuned, it should sound like this. By the way, that note right there, that's an E minor of a sort. It's not the major E minor, but it's an E and it's a minor. That's your first note. That's the easiest note to play. The easiest chord to play is that E something minor. I don't know what it's called, it's an E and it's a minor. This is the real E minor. Okay, so what we're gonna start with is some chords, okay? And the reason why they're chords. So the very first one is you take these two middle fingers right here, right? And you put them, I want you to watch very carefully, okay? Because I'm gonna put one here and then one here. Okay, you see that? So you go like this. It should sound like this. Like real sad and gloomy, you know? The funniest thing is if you put your finger right here, it makes it an E major. Wait, sorry, right there, sorry, right there. See that? So that's an E major, and lifting it up is an E minor. So it's happy and sad. Okay, there's a reason why they call it an E. The reason why they call that an E is because the first note you hit is the top right here. That's the E. This is E, A, D, G, B, E. Whatever note you hit first is called the root of the chord. So you hit the E first. You can see there's nothing on there, right? There's no fingers on there or nothing. It's an E. It's an open E, and then the rest of the chords that you put your fingers on. So basically, if you were to strum that like the old time country where they go, it's an E. The note you hear first is the E. Now here's the thing. This is something that people don't teach you. When you're doing this note right here, that E minor right here, remember that's there, right? See that? Right there and right there, right? Get them in there. And one other thing is you want to make your fingers like that on the fret. This is a fret right here. This is a fret. Okay, these are the frets. Fret 1, fret 2, fret 3. When you put your notes on this fret board, you got to make sure that they're on there straight. Because if you don't, then it's going to sound muffled. See, it sounds muffled. They're going to bleed a little bit. They call that bleeding. So you want it to each thing to have its own note, and the way to test that is to go. See, I was bleeding a little bit there, so you strike every one of them. That's an E minor, okay? Now, but what an advanced way to teach you is to use these two fingers. These two right here. Use these two, and I'll tell you why. When you put your finger here and put your finger here, that these are free. It's the same note, but it's different fingers. And the reason why you can do it like that, it's actually better to learn it like that, because what ends up happening is, if you want to do the next note, which is an F minor, you could take this finger and bar it here, and you're up one here. Because when you're here, this is the bar. That little white thing is the bar. All right? You're here, and that's the bar. So now, when you go here, that's the bar. This right here is the bar. So now you're in F minor. See? Oh, I bled a little bit there. And then to get the next one would be F sharp. And then the next one would be G minor. Now these notes are advanced, however, it's important that you know them, because you can go all the way up, see? You're gonna hear songs out there that you're gonna hear these notes on, so remember, you can learn the notes like that, and then of course that's your E minor, and then here's your E major when you put your finger here. See that? Finger there on the third one up. And then this one here, and this one underneath it, right there. That's your E. And then you slide it up, it becomes an F. And then an F sharp by barring it. And so on, and so on, and so on. Okay? So that's what I wanted to tell you. All right, so now here's another note, okay? Another note down from that the E right there, where I showed you the E right there, right? Is go here, down one, and down one. That's the standard one, right? That's an A minor. Now, why is it called an A minor? Because the first note you hit is the A chord is right here, not the E. You're not going to hit that one. You're going to hit this one. Right there. That's your A minor. See? Now, you might ask yourself, like, what songs start with A minor? Well, one of the really, really popular ones is like Runaway by Del Shannon. As I walk along, you know what I mean, you know the words. Okay, so that's an A minor, okay? And now that you know that, but you can also use these three instead of these three. Okay, these three because it's a bar. This is one of the bar chords, see? 1, 2, 3. Well, let me get that so you can see it. 1, 2, 3, but down one. Yeah. So 1, 2, and 3. Got that? Ah, I did it wrong, I'm sorry. 1 here, and then these two. So can you see that? 1, and then the next two are here and here and here, but this one going on the top, this one going here. So you got this, right? As I walk along, right? But then you can slide that up. Remember I told you about the bar? That's the bar, right? If you slide it up, it now becomes an A sharp minor. Still a minor chord. Slide it up again. The finger goes down on that bar. Then slide it up again. Slide it up again. Okay, so you get the theory. That remember, it's good to do chords not just one way, but do them both ways. Okay. So now, I want to show you what all the notes. I'll just tell them to you so that you know. Okay. Remember 2 things: breaking and entering. It's a crime. Breaking and entering. They call it a B and E. Cops will call that an B and an E. Those are the 2 notes that do not have sharps. So if you go A, it only goes up to G. So it's A sharp. B, remember B, breaking and entering. B has no sharp, so it automatically goes to C. So C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, breaking and entering, there's your E. E has no sharp, so it goes right to F. So now F, F sharp, G, G sharp, back to A. It just does that right down the fret. If you start at E, or we'll start at A, the next one you hit is A sharp, then B, no sharp, remember, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, no sharp, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, back to A. Okay, so and it goes like that for every single one of them. This is an E, so it's E, E, open, then F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, and so on. Next one is the A. I already showed you that one. It's this one is E, A, D. D, D open, D sharp, E, remember what's next, no sharp, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B to C. And then on the next one we have E, A, D, G, G open, then G sharp, A sharp, B, no sharp, C, C sharp, D, and D sharp, E, no sharp, F. Okay. And the next one is B, B open, C, no sharp, remember? C sharp, D, D sharp, E, no sharp, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, and so on. And then the last one, E, open, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, no sharp, C. Okay, now that that's done, I got you a couple of notes there. I'm going to do some more, but I want to take a quick note and tell you what a hammer is, okay? A hammer is when you go like, when you hit a note and you hit another note to make it sound funny. But they do it in a lot of songs, like Pink Floyd does a song called Wish You Were Here. They'll hammer it like this, just like this. The second and third notes you heard were hammers. That was the first one. This is the second one. I hammer right here. I only pluck once with this, but I hammer it to make it to two notes. So it's... Okay, so that's Wish You Were Here, Pink Floyd. Now, a pull-off is when you go like this. You only strike once with that, but you hit it. I'm sorry, hammer. That's a pull-off. Kind of works good with the high notes like this. You could do a double, which is a hammer and a pull-off. But that's just for the really, really advanced fancy. If you never know, you might. Every guitar player has something that they want to achieve. You might want to achieve to play like Eddie Van Halen or whatever. He's a master of pull-offs and hammer-ons, and there's a lot of other ones out there too. But I'm just saying him because he's one of the ones that uses it the most. Okay, so he got very popular doing that too. So now that you have the hammer-on and the pull-off, okay, I'm going to show you notes that go together. I'll show you all the major notes, okay? There's the E, which I showed you before. Now, we'll start with A. A can be done same thing. You can go here, here, and here, right? With those three fingers, and then you want to strike the A first. Remember, not the E. You want to hit these. That's a little tricky, so my buddy Andy White taught me that if you take two fingers and put them in here and here, you put them in here, and here. What ends up happening is your two fingers take up three notes, so you're going. Okay? So, now you got the A. But remember, you could do it here too. It's a little tricky, but... Alright, and then the next one is A sharp, of course, which is here. Now this is where the bar stuff is. The bar means that you're going to bar all of this, all of that. Oh, my phone's ringing. Okay, so the bar means you're going to bar here, and you're going to put your finger here. So it's like, how do you do that? It takes a hell of a lot of practice. Like a hell of a lot, but basically you're barring all of these three right there. You're doing those, and then you're barring here. So It takes a lot of practice, but basically just remember the theory, which is this note, and this note, and this bar right here, okay? That's how you do it. This bars all of them. Remember, you're not going to hit this one. And then you do that note, and that note. To do that, you could do it with your fingers. What I used to do is I would take my finger right here and I would bar it sideways like this. And I'd have to work it out until I got it. I haven't played this note in a while, so it's... There it is. You might have to like kind of... I use this finger to push this one and then kind of roll it a little and practice it. It's going to take a lot of practice. There it is. I have to kind of take my elbow and kind of go like this when I do it. You'll work it out. When you do that, it allows your finger to go more onto the fretboard. I don't know why. So that's A sharp, and then of course there's B, right? Which is the one up from that, right? Damn, that guy really wants to get a hold of me. Maybe I should put this in airplane mode. Not yet. Okay, and then of course, then there's C. Oh, by the way, B. One of the most popular notes that people use is B7, which is here, 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 then here. That's the first, third, and oh, wait, hold on. Sorry. So it's this one here, then this one onto the second, then the fourth, then the sixth. You can see that. See that? Look very carefully. This one here, then this one here, this one here, and of course this one goes here. That's a B7, okay? Sounds like this. Now, when would you use a B7? You would use it for an E. A, then B7 for the third chord to complete the triad. Okay, so that's B7, all right? The notes are usually A, if you're doing a triad, a 3-chord triad is A, D, and E7, okay? So that's A, I showed you before. D is this. D is this one, like that, and that. See that? That one there, and that one there. So it looks kind of like this, and it sounds like this. Whoops, sorry. See? So A, D, and E7 would sound like this. Now, an E7 is everything I showed you before, where you go one here, and one here. Sorry, this one goes here, this one goes here. Okay, so. Okay. Right, but on the very last one, you put this one here. Can you see that? You're going to be putting this here. That makes it the 7th. So it sounds like this. Now, another way to do a E7 is just to do these two. Just this one and that one. I've seen people do that too. Wait. Yeah, they do that, but in the regular E like that, right? But what they do is they lift up this one. I don't know why they do it, but that's how they do it. Some people do it, but I just do it with all of them like that, see? That one goes there at the end of that E chord. So A, D, E7, back to A. Okay, so we covered A, B, C. C is right here. But remember, you can also do this with this finger, and that finger. It's very hard to do, but same note. So that you can slide it to C sharp, and then D. You know what I mean? Those are all bar chords, so remember those. So now you know 1, 2, 3 bar chords. A minor bar chord slides, E major bar chord slides, and the F minor one slides too. Look, there's E minor, and then you bring it up, bring it up, bring it up. It all starts by putting these two on the right there, on that right there, right? E minor, and then your A minor is there, right? But instead you did it with these three fingers, right? Whoops, sorry. And then you slid it up one. A sharp minor, B minor, B sharp minor. I mean C minor, and then C sharp minor. Okay. Anyway, so now I just showed you C and C sharp. I showed you D. D sharp is D sharp. That's another tricky one. You could bar chord that one. It's tricky though. But D sharp. If I was to do a D sharp, you could do it like I did before with the C, which is there. That's your C. You bring it to here or to here when you're barring it there or there. That's your D. There's your D sharp. It's hard. It's very, very hard, and you're gonna notice your fingers are gonna get all dented like that. But you know what? Don't give up, okay? Every mile that's walked has to be done step at a time. You know what I mean? So remember that. Another D is right here. So D sharp is here. You know what I mean? So you do different variations. The whole trick is to practice, practice, practice. I showed you your E. I showed you your F, right? Your E like this. And then move it up one. Then, but you can also do F like this. These two here, then here and here. And you're gonna strike this one first. Those 4. See, you're only striking right here. The 4 right there. That's your striking the F right there. Okay? So that's your F. And then your F sharp, of course, is here. Your G is here. Oh, that's one other thing I forgot to tell you. This is your G, right? You could do G 2 different ways too. Here, here, and here. Oops. Okay, but there's also a thing called a double G. And some songs do it like that. Wish You Were Here song does it. You put it here, 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 and then here, and then here. Whoop. Alright. You're right there, see? Wait a minute, hold on. This goes here, huh? That goes there. Wait a minute, hold on. This goes here, that goes there, that goes there. Then these two go on the bottom like that. Okay. Okay. So, now that you got that, everything, there's one other thing I forgot to show you, is that if you want to get good at practicing guitar, you should go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But you try to keep your fingers over. According to Michelangelo Baccio, you want to keep your fingers as close to the thing as possible. So when you go down these notes, they don't move too much. You don't want to be going like this. You want to keep them like this. Strike that one. And one other thing, okay, that's important to know is that do that all the way up to about, I've heard to do it all the way up to the 8th fret. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can do it up as far as you want, really, up to where you can't go anymore, kind of. But all that's going to do is going to make you better, okay? And another thing is I forgot to tell you, is that when you do a note, and I learned this from another guy, I can't remember the guy's name, but he was a good teacher. I got it off a video. He says when you do a note, after you put the note on there and you get it perfectly, that's an E, right? This is how people that can do notes without looking, this is how they get good at it. You go like this, you do the E, and then you take your fingers and put them right back off like that, like you open them up, and then put it back on there. Me, I can do it without looking, see? Whoops. So do it for every note. A minor. And then your F. Always open it up and put it back on there and practice it again. You want to get really, really good, really, really fast, it's going to take a lot of work. All right, like anything else. You got to just work at it and work at it and work at it. And you do these exercises like 20, 30 times each time you do it. Here's an E, right? You do the E. Oh, I got to open it up, put it back on there. Oh, I got to open it up, put it back on there. Always strike it slow to listen for muffs, right? There's a muff. Hear that? So that means I got to lift my fingers up a little more. Right? And then do it again. Little muff there. Open them up, put it back on there. Open them up, put them back on there. That's how you get good. Doing stuff like this, you know what I mean? If you want to watch TV, that's fine. Watch TV with the guitar in your hand. You know what I mean? And sit there and practice. Well, a little muff. A minor. C. Oh, little muff. I'm a little out of practice here. Okay, now that I got that, those are some very, very crucial things that I got to tell you. All right? Right now, you get really, really good at what I'm teaching you, okay? Them bar chords are not going to come right away. They're going to come. It's going to take a while. If you work at it a hell of a lot, you'll get it like maybe a month, 2 months, 3 months. I don't know. It kind of depends on you, but you got to work at it. Work, work, work. And don't get frustrated. Don't say, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do it. Because you know what? If you say, I can't, you know, Bruce Jenner never won the gold in the Olympics by saying, I can't. No, he went and he did it, and he got it done. Because he had to do a lot of practicing, a lot of practice. How do you get to the World Series? Practice. How do you get to the Super Bowl? Practice. You know? How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice. So, you know, we anything we do in life, you got to practice. First you get shown how to do it, and then you practice. So now that I went through that, now I'm going to go through another thing that's really, really important, okay? This is one thing that's really, really important is knowing what chords go together. I'm just going to tell you what they are, okay? Maybe get yourself a pen and a paper and know what they are, okay? First, we'll start with the 3 chords, okay? The 3 chords are A, D, and E7. All right? Those go together. And to prove that, there's a Johnny Cash song. At my door, the leaves are falling. The cold, wild wind will come. See, those are 3 chords. Very easy. That's how it's done. Okay, they go together. So what that means is that the next chords that go together, remember, these are more advanced, but the next 3 chords that go together are A sharp, D sharp, and F7. The 3rd chord of all these chords is always a 7th, okay? So A, D, and E7, okay? The 7th is the guy that says, hey, it's going to go back to A now. See, it sounds like it wants to go there, right? See, it goes, right? That's the E7, and then the A. It makes it sound like it wants to go back, all right? And so